அந்த சைடு இது பஸ். மறந்து போயிட்டு.
Hi Raja.
Hi.
Welcome to Odyssey, Traversing Through Life. I call you Raja, so I just said Raja. My apologies, Mr. Rajamani Krishnamurthy.
You're most welcome. Yeah.
So today Mr. Rajamani Krishnamurthy is present with us, and we're going to talk about his life, about the present times, and about how fear is a very important factor which impacts everybody's life. You know, at one point, while we are journeying through life, this is one very important factor which impacts us at one point of time, or maybe many point of time, and how do we overcome that? So with that, let's welcome Raja once again. Mr. Rajamani Krishnamurthy, you're welcome to IWLF. IWLF is a leadership consortium where we have leaders from all across the country and abroad, and we discuss, we talk, and you know how the pandemic has impacted all of us. There's a lot of things happening across us. We hear about so many deaths, so many more deaths, you know, than what we used to hear earlier. I mean, not that deaths are not happening. And we hear the COVID has been spiraling, and today I think we have topped the list in the world in terms of numbers. Of course, cure. There are a lot of people who are getting cured also, but this has created a fear psychosis, you know, fear element in people. I mean, today we are averse to going out and meeting friends. We are all in a mask. We are all the time taking precaution, gloves, and all. This is not the kind of society we were living in. And you know, calling people at home, all that pattern has changed. A lot of people in the businesses are talking about the new normal, the new business, the reinvention of businesses. Corporate sectors are, all the wizards of corporate world are talking. So today we thought, IWLF, in IWLF, I have invented this conversation where we talk about our life, you know, how at this moment we can bring in a lot of positivity, a lot of fresh thoughts, a lot of reinvention, not only vis-a-vis what we stand for professionally, but also, what we are as human beings, as a self. So with that, I welcome you once again. And before I welcome you, before we start the conversation, I'd like to play a song for you.
Thank you.
নয়ন সরসী কেন ভরেছে জলে, কত কি রয়েছে লেখা কাজলে কাজলে। নয়ন সরসী কেন ভরেছে জলে, কত কি রয়েছে লেখা কাজলে কাজলে। নয়ন সরসী কেন বেদনার কলি তুমি দাও ভালোবেসে বধূ, বেদনার কলি তুমি দাও ভালোবেসে বধূ। ফুল ফোটানোর ছলে আমি ভরে দেব মধু, সারা মন কেন তুমি চোখে সাজালে, কত কি রয়েছে লেখা কাজলে কাজলে। নয়ন সরসী কেন সফল হবে বধূ আর ঘরে আর স্মরণের আড়ালেতে দেখা যাবে ফুল সার নিশিরাত বিরহেরো নিশিরাত বিরহেরো বাঁশিওর কে বাজায় ভালোবেসে কেন বধূ আজ শুধু কেঁদে যাও সেধে সেধে কেন তুমি মরণ নিলে কত কি রয়েছে লেখা কাজলে কাজলে নয়ন সরসী কেন ভরেছে জলে কত কি রয়েছে লেখা কাজলে কাজলে নয়ন সরসী কেন
Beautiful. I think that was amazing. With this, let me tell everybody who's watching us, all the viewers, you're most welcome. That Rajamani Krishnamurthy is a South Indian, Tamilian, but born and brought up in Kolkata. So he sang this song, you know. This song is sung by Rajamani himself, and I thought I must play it. So, Raja, I think it was amazing.
Thank you, Shamila.
And I mean, the pronunciation, the voice, of course, you speak fluent Bengali. So, I mean, this was something really good. Very nice.
Thanks.
So, with that,
I really
yeah.
thank you for playing this song because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's an old song, Uttam Kumar song, I remember. I mean, we were small then, but I think sung by Kishore Kumar.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. None other than him.
Ashish, I welcome you. Thank you, Bondhu, for joining me. And since I don't know the others, but I'm sure I welcome everybody. You are Raja's guest. So, welcome to our episode,
Yeah.
Odyssey. So, Raja, now.
Thanks, Ashish. Yeah,
Joy to be here.
yeah. Thanks, everybody. Yeah.
So, Raja, I think I would request you to please tell us about your professional achievements, your accomplishments, and also a bit about your personal life. And then I'll come to the topic of the discussion that we have today, I mean, which is very, very relevant. Yeah.
Um, to be precise, I belong to a respectable South Indian family, very orthodox, conventional, born and brought up in Calcutta. Forefathers settled in Calcutta for almost 90 years now. And so Calcutta, you can say it's my Matrubhumi kind of a thing. And that's a feeling I get. So anything, whether it's good, bad, ugly, Calcutta is Calcutta. So that's what, I literally used to have a fight when I was very young, at that particular time. But from there, it was a long journey. And to be precise, there were no one to guide us to be what needs to be done. If you see today's youth, they know what they want to do. They are very clear about their career process. And during those days, we were absolutely clueless what needs to be done. And there were no parallel careers available, which is available today now. Hell a lot of careers available. It's not necessary that you need to be well qualified or something like that. You can encourage your other credentials, like if you're good in sports, you can become a sports person. If you're good in singing, you can become a singer. Many avenues are available today, which were not visible to us in those days because of lack of awareness, one, and second thing is lack of penetration of internet, which is you get everything with a click of a button, what you want in today's scenario. So it was kind of a small Howrah, as you know, Sharmila. It's a kind of a village. It's not a big town, and I born and brought up in Howrah. From there, uh, it was a small journey where I started my career as a medical rep, Bechu, and then with American Remedies, which is now Dr. Reddy's lab. Then from there, I moved on to Godrej, and from Godrej, I was doing a logistics from sales to logistics and back-end support. Then suddenly, someone told me in Godrej, there was a well-wisher who said, Raja, this is not the place for you. You should go. So there was an advertisement in CII saying that, you must join. They were welcoming economists for as an executive officer to start with. So that was a very, challenging interview, I would say, because I was not a qualified economist, although I had one of the subjects in commerce as an economics, but I was not masters in economics because that's what the preferred qualification they have put in the advertisement. So I told my colleague in Godrej that, you are telling me this, I won't be called for an interview. You're asking me to apply for this job. How do what made you think that, I'll get a call? He said, what is wrong in it? You're not a loser either way. If you get a call, better. If you don't get a call, even better. But you try. So that particular thing started motivating me that, one should try. Whether they qualify or not, at least you should not have a regret in your life saying that, you have not tried this. So that was the first lesson for me. So I tried. I was luckily called for an interview. And Mr. Niyogi was a hardcore CII person, very tough to handle also. And the interview went on very well. He said, you don't even qualify the eligibility criteria. Why did you come for an interview? This was the first question he posted me. Then I told him, if you see that, I'm not qualified for this, why did you call me for an interview in first place? Wasting your time as well as my time. That was a young blood. So I was also, I was very blunt I've become polished now, Sharmila. I was really very,
But
I was a raw material.
Polished. I saw you very polished in JSW.
No, I'm polished. I've become polished, courtesy to Professor Ranjan Das. Otherwise, I was a rebel in my family, to be precise. So he said, no, I wanted to see your guts. At what made you apply for this job? So I was also young. I said, no, I wanted to see whether I'm saleable in the market or not. So that's how the interview went on for hours together. And finally, he offered me the job. Which I also, I didn't know anything about policies or whatever it is. So that was the first stepping stone for me. Then I immediately went back to Mr. Pradeep Mondal, who asked me to apply for this job. He said, Raja, there is nothing called rocket science. You can learn it. If you open your eyes and ears, that's what you need to do. And you can learn things. Nothing is difficult in this world. If you have the passion to learn, you can do very well in your life. So this was the key words that he gave it to me. I came to CII. It was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. To be, I was the only non-Bengali there, and I never used to get any support from anybody. That was the time Professor Ranjan Das came in my career life, and he was a professor in IIM Calcutta.
So you're talking about Calcutta right now. You're still in Kolkata.
That's right.
This journey is in Kolkata.
That's right. That journey in Kolkata. And at that time, I was very close to him because he used to like my attitude and this thing. So I told sir, I'm not able to cope up here, and I would like to quit. Just 3 months of that job. I said I just wanted to go back to Godrej because they were calling me back that you come over, we will not treat you as a resigned employee. We will continue with your employment. He gave me at one particular time, Raja, see, normally he was also very blunt. He said, if you spit, you don't take it back. So once you have quit Godrej, you should not look back at Godrej. You may go to any other place. But let me tell you, life is full of struggle. It's not a bed of roses that you can walk through. If you don't face challenges now at this age, then you will not grow up in your life. So he said, you take fear in both positive sense as well as negative sense. So what the first lesson that he gave it to me on fear is, you forget everything and run. That is the first option. But if you really want to come up in your life, face everything and rise. So this is what the abbreviation he created for me for fear. He said, either forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. So the choice is yours. Had I been in your place, I would have gone with the option number 2, which is face everything and rise. So I will support you if you have the credibility. So I said, what do you want me to do on this? The first thing what he said is, you make your boss redundant, absolute redundant.
You make your boss redundant.
Absolutely. You make yourself in such a way so that he is fully dependent on you. You get his job. If you have to spend even at least 4-5 hours extra in the office, do that. So that's what transformed me what I am today. And it became so the people who were not cooperating with me started cooperating with me. Within, you will not believe, Sharmila, 9 months joining, and I became the blue-eyed boy of that office. And I was CI was a learning curve for me. I'll never forget. And whatever I am today, it's because of Professor Das. He has helped me in every stage of my life, whether it is for CII, whether it's going to South Africa. From CII, I was posted to South Africa as a country head. And I was there in South Africa for 5 years. Then I came back to India after finishing. It was on a deputation. So I was heading the policy under MASCON in CII. And then I was headhunted by JSW for, I never applied for that job. I was recommended by Ministry of Finance, the PS to the then PS to Mr. Chidambaram, referred my name to Sajjan Jindal, saying that you can get this job. Boy, he's very good for your corporate affairs. And that's how I was called in for an interview. I got the job in JSW. Spent around 6 years, 5+ years in JSW, and where we became friends.
Yeah, that's where I met you. Yeah. We
So
were colleagues and working closely. I remember my
absolutely,
Delhi
yeah.
visits all the time.
Yeah, so it was, but
And I remember those mathura
today,
kulcha that used to treat me.
yeah.
Amazing. And I would say, Raja, I want to have that. Thank you so much. Good old days, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was then JSW. People said that it's very difficult to work with Sajjan Jindal, but I never felt so, because when I worked with Mr. Niyogi, I thought that anyone is very easy to work with, because Niyogi was the most toughest boss in my life. But one thing is, I also never had a problem with Niyogi, because he was very clear. He wanted a clear this thing, saying that whether you can do this job, take it. If you can't do this job, be specific, saying that you can't handle this. He doesn't want anyone with an ambiguity, saying that I'll take the job, then I mess it up, and then I leave it in between. That he never liked it. So similarly, Sajjan Jindal was also like same character. You know him very well also.
I know.
So
But
then
I have my reservations in what you said, but it's okay. Please carry
yeah,
on.
it differs from person to person,
Yeah,
Sharmila. But
yeah. Because I also
yeah.
worked very closely with that gentleman. So
Yeah. So, but
yeah.
nevertheless, I never had. I have seen Sajjan Jindal, showing his anger to all the people in front of me, but never ever, I had touchwood face that wrath of him.
But there was lots to learn from Mr. Jindal, because
Precisely. He
I
was
learned a
dynamic
lot.
among the
Yeah.
Jindals. He was the most
Among,
dynamic. This thing.
amidst so many promoters that you and me have worked, he is one man. I think he was really set an
And you
example.
mark my words, I'll tell you, Sharmila, he will be taking over Mukesh Ambani, if all his plans come across. Because I follow his business plans very meticulously. And today, if you take, from nowhere, he has become the #1 steel producer of this country.
That is true. He's taken over
Talk to him.
Tata's.
Yeah, he taken over SAIL also. He's the largest producer of steel in India today.
Oh.
And the days are not far. He will be the 100 million ton capacity shortly. He will do that and say next 10 years. You will mark my words. That guy has got the capability to do that.
But
And
anyway, ArcelorMittal is also coming to the country. He's already
yeah,
taken over SR. But then
that's
this
true.
is not the discussion, so we will not
Yeah,
get into
true.
this. We are talking
Yeah,
something. So after JSW, I think you joined RPT.
yeah. It was for a smaller stint because I was told that it's lots of project. They are planning to expand and all those stuff. But that was a myth, which was given to me, and it was they wanted to replace an existing old man who was 72 years old as President Corporate Affairs. So I replaced him as President Corporate Affairs. There was no job, literally no job, and I used to read newspapers 3.5 hours every day in the morning. I used to have a cup of tea with the ministry guys, and then I go back home. This was the thing. And I being a workaholic, I was
Yeah.
literally bored. Within 3 months or 5 months, I was reporting to both Sanjeev and Harsh because at that time they were together. They parted
Okay.
ways after me leaving them.
Mhm.
So it was, I told Harsh that there is no job for me. And I think, it's not an age for me to draw pension like this. So I personally feel, guilty for not doing any work and taking the salary. So he said, no, you wait, that old man is not letting you this thing. So he is going, you will get lots of job. But the old man told me there is no job here, and I don't know why you have come here. But after he left, 3 months, 4 months passed, there were no jobs. And then I told Harsh, saying that I think I'll be wasting all my talents and my connections because I cannot waste the bureaucrat's time just because I don't have a work. He may entertain me for a day or two, but every day I cannot go and make a courtesy call to him without a work. So I told him that it's not right that I continue here. So that was the time Prashant Ruia called me saying that why don't you join me? That was SR.
Yeah. So how
So
long were you there in SR?
SR I was there for 6.5 years. So I left them during the financial crunch because at that time we were not very clear whether they wanted to save this entity or they wanted to let it go because thing we got a feedback saying that the entity will go out of their hand and things were not good. So that
Which
was
has
the time
happened.
yeah,
Which
and
has
which happened
happened.
also,
Which has happened. Yeah.
yeah. And at that time I was telling my other colleagues that they'll not be able to save this, and that's what the market reality is. I'm getting out grapevine getting from the market, but everyone said that Raja, you're wrong. They will get it back. They will get it back. And I also told them very clearly that who is going to back this. So that was the level of intelligence, market intelligence I was having in this thing. I told them ArcelorMittal was not even in the picture. I told them that they are going to get this entity. It's already done, and it'll happen like this. Everyone laughed at me. I said, okay, my time will come. Then I laugh at all of you. And it came, and I told them, see, this is what I told you, that ArcelorMittal is going to take it over, and that's happened.
Mhm.
And it was a very emotional when ArcelorMittal took SR, because we put our heart and soul in getting all the pipelines that they have in place. All the policy work was done by me. It was initiated by me. It was implemented right from conceptualization to commissioning. I was involved in that, so I felt very bad. So this, but nevertheless, as you know, the promoters, they don't have. They are like above everything. They don't have. They may have emotions, but they will not show it
But
to public.
that's the principle they all follow. I learned it from
Absolutely,
Sangeeta Jindal
absolutely,
that there is no
precisely.
emotions in a
No,
corporate
they may
structure.
have it. I won't say they will not have it. They will have it, but they will not show it to others. So that is one more positive of not showing your fears to public. So the moment you show you having the fear in your mind, then people will ride on your head, and you will be pressed even more harder. so it is it's a human nature. You can't help with that. So even if you don't have any weapons with you, at least you face them boldly, saying that you don't show it on your face. So the first thing where fear can come into your body is your face and your eyes. So at least you need to know how to protect that and make yourself you know looking happy and all those stuff. So that was the scenario. Then from there I moved to Subhash Chandra as a group president, corporate affairs, SL group.
That was a big this thing, SL Group.
Yeah,
When you
and
were-
to tell you, everyone said that it's very difficult to work with this person, and it was really difficult to work with that person. And I had seen people quitting the job in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. I was the only guy I know who served him almost 2 years with this thing. So then I quit on my terms, saying that it's not gelling well. Then I started Srinath Consultancy as a managing partner. So that was my journey on this so far. But COVID has affected me also very badly, because you know it very well. I need not how to explain. But nevertheless, I'm really positive, because for any thing where you want to move something like that, without pain there's no gain. So you need to undergo that, and these struggles, these pains, they will make you stronger. They will make you face anything in your life, and I'm prepared to face that. And I'm absolutely happy. I have a family who's supporting me on my this thing. So definitely, I'm sure that I'll do very well, and definitely my career will do a much better, will have a much better graph as it
Yes.
compared to what it was all these years. The
No,
classic
all these
example is
years.
Mr. Bachchan.
Sorry.
The classic example is Mr. Bachchan. If you look at his first innings, and if you look at his second innings is much more prominent, much
Stronger.
more stronger than the first.
So Raja, before we go to the next one,
Hmm.
I mean my discussion point. I think let us welcome on Facebook. We have Pilu Vidyarthi. Pilu, thank you for joining us. We have Shuvendu Ghoshal. Shuvendu heard your song and said, "Great beginning."
Yeah, yes,
Very good
Shivendu.
beginning. And
And
Ria also
all
said,
the best for
"Good."
your book. All the best wishes for your book.
Then Pilu said, "Very well sung." And I asked you whether it is Kishore Kumar. Yes, it is Kishore Kumar. Um, and everybody else who's watching us, please, everyone is welcome on Facebook as well as on Zoom. So Raja, tell me in these, say 26, 27 years or 30 years or whatever years of your life that you have, you become much more conscious, you know how to face life from wherever that journey began. Has it ever happened to you that at some moment you were fear struck and you thought that, okay, what's next? Have you ever faced that? Because that's very important
Not
to me.
precisely, if you really ask me, if I was really fear struck, only on two occasions. That was when I lost my father in 2000, and when I lost my mother in 2016. But that particular thing stayed with me for I think 3 months. Then I picked up myself. Because one thing we need to realize, Shamila, see, whatever which I got it, through one of my friends. Nothing is yours in this world. You are a guest. You have been sent to this world to play a particular role, which you are playing it, and you have to go back. The moment you start owning things, there comes the problem. The moment you start expecting things, if you look at Adi, because I read Adi Shankaracharya to a greater extent. His Tattvamasi policy is one of the best. I will say, Aham Brahmasi. So I am above everything. I'm no one. If the moment you hand over the complete surrender to the God, the moment you hand over everything, the moment you think that there is no problem, as it's again the chicken and egg story. As I had said earlier, Its fear is, it's both has a negative component and a positive component. One is either you forget everything and run. That's one, which is a negative part of fear, or you say that, face everything and rise. So that's the positive part. So always, if you look at the positivity, then things will fall in place. It's easier said than done, but you need to practice it. There have been examples, like for example, the I don't know whether people would have seen it, heard this name, Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra is one of the guy who practiced law of attraction, right from the young age. There has been an interview with Deepak Chopra with Winfrey Oprah, where he explains it to Winfrey Oprah. He was very young. On a string he ties a ring, and he tells Winfrey, saying that, I'm holding it. You hold it straight, and you think in your mind that this ring is swinging left to right, and she does it. At the moment, she does it in the brain, and it automatically swings. Now suddenly he said stop. Now you start thinking that it is doing a round, and she finds that it does a round. So everything is in your mind. It's how you control your mind. You might have seen, there are guys who walk on the fire, but there are guys who cannot take the fire. So it's all on your mind. So how you see that, it is how you control your mind. So that is what you need, meditation, which I started from about 1.5 years back, when I went to Tiruvannamalai, which I told you also. I'm sharing it with my audience here. To surprise of mine, it was taught to me by a German. I went to Tiruvannamalai. There is a place called Skanda Ashram, which is around 2.5-kilometer trek from Ramana Maharishi's ashram, Ramana Ashram. So I went there and I saw full of foreigners there. There's no Indians, absolutely. So all of them were meditating, and one of the guys was just relaxing. So I just started a conversation with him. I said, "Are you coming to India for the first time?" To my surprise, he said, "No, this is the 17th year, I'm coming to India, and to Tiruvannamalai particularly." And he said, "I come every year here." I said, "What do you do?" He said, "No, I come here and meditate. I stay here for 14 to 15 days. Every day I come here, I go back in the evening. I do only meditation here, nothing else." I said, what is your experience on this?" He said, "My experience is, I stopped worrying unnecessarily. I can handle any."
I'll request everybody to mute yourself. Please mute yourself.
He said, "I can handle anything in my life. There is nothing." So I told him that, "Can you teach me?" So that guy taught me how to calm your mind, how to do meditation. It started with he said, start with 5 minutes, increase it to 10, 15, 20. And today, I do 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. Before, and you'll not believe, Sharmila, what I was 6 months back and what I am now. I could feel the change in myself, and I'm ready to face any kind of problem in my life. I have, this is easier said than done, unless and until you experience it yourself. So what I would suggest everybody, that please at least devote 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes. Keep your mind calm. Don't talk to anybody. Close your eyes. Absolutely. And in a particular room, don't hear anything. You should absolutely focus on emptiness. Precisely. You focus on emptiness. The moment you start feeling it, your hands will get numb, your legs will get numb. Don't bother about that. But the feeling that you'll get, it's an amazing feeling.
That's very true. I think you have, always inspired me, Raja. And I would like you to tell everybody that story where you were in Beda Ghat with your family and how you got trapped into that whirlpool, and how you saved. I mean, how your mind probably called out to the universe, and the universe sent the right energies. So I think that is a very inspiring story.
See, it is again a belief system, Shamila. See, if you, the moment you believe that, there is a creator, there is a God, supernatural power, which is there above you and which can help you out. It was an incident which happened, my sister, second sister was posted in Jabalpur, and my brother-in-law was transferred to Bombay. He was employed with General Insurance. So we all thought of, she had been calling us for donkeys years. We couldn't make it. So finally she said, I'm going from Jabalpur, but you guys didn't come to my place. So both me and my brother, we thought of giving her a surprise, saying that, we will help her with our, on our transfer by packing all the goods and everything. And then we will spend a good amount of time with them and go to the nearby places. So we gave her that surprise and we went to Bedaghat. At that time, it was the monsoon, just the monsoon got over and the Narmada was overflowing almost. And we thought it was me, my wife, my son, my brother, Bhabi, and my niece, my brother-in-law, and my sister, 8 of us. So we hired a Nauka, there were steamer boats available, but my brother suggested that, let's hire a Nauka, a hand chapu wala. That's, we will enjoy it more, and we will only hire it for ourselves. We will not allow anyone to come in, so that we can enjoy as a family. So we did that, and on that day it was a Purnima, and the current was quite heavy in Narmada. And Narmada is one of the most still waters, and with great amount of depth. People say that, no one could measure the depth of Narmada, and which is true also. And we got stuck in a whirlpool there, and the boat was just rotating, and 2-3 times, tried to get out of it, and we were again pulled back in that whirlpool. Literally, you can see what is death in the phases of, I have that. I'll share. Unfortunately, it was there somewhere. I couldn't locate those photographs. I'll definitely share it with you. It was, I could see the death in the face of the guy, who were controlling the Nauka, and I could see a absolute silence among all our family members. At that time, it was a complete surrender, because I am a great worshipper of Lord Hanuman. As it's my Ishta Devata. So I started praying Hanuman Chalisa, and that was the time Sankat Kate Mite Sabpira, and that was the time. And then I got something, I told that Nauka guy, now you chappu maro, abhi nikal jayenge hum. The force of my voice and that guy immediately, adhering to that, and we were out of that whirlpool. And we were absolutely, it was a bundle of joy which we had. And it was, we still owe this to Hanumanji. It was a miracle that we got escaped from that particular whirlpool. Otherwise, it would have been a deathbed for all 8 of us. There was no suspicion or no this thing on that. So this is, one thing is, it's complete surrender. If you take anything for that particular matter, even in Mahabharata, when the Vastraharan episode happens, it's Draupadi, till the time she holds one hand on the sari and the other hand, she calls Krishna. Krishna never comes. The moment she opens both the hand and she surrenders to the God, saying that, now I can't handle this, help me out, then only Krishna comes. So unless and until you completely surrender yourself, you cannot visualize this miracle in your life. The iota of doubt in your mind will not allow to taste that experience, which anybody, who has crossed that.
So I think you've been. It's so. This was amazing, and I truly believe, Raja, because this is something you had shared with me a long time back. This Bedaghat incident, and you are one person whenever I speak with you, and maybe I'm going through some kind of a low phase, and I discuss times with you. I have that trust, and you will always tell me that, Sharmila, read this, read Hanuman Chalisa. And I started reading Hanuman Chalisa. It's not that we are talking religion here. We are talking of faith. I had mentioned this before, that it is faith. Vivekananda had said this, that he who has faith has all. He who lacks faith lacks all. For it is faith in the name of the God which works wonder. So it's our faith in that almighty, that cosmic energy, the universe, and it is addressed like the Winfrey incident. Deepak Chopra had that conversation, and he said the ring will move if you think in your mind. So let's come to
Precisely.
mind now. So let's come to
Precisely.
mind now, Raja. So, generally in our journey, we say that there is a soul which is sitting in all of us, which is an energy zone, which energizes your whole this thing. And because of the soul, we are alive, because we are
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we are being we have conscious, we have we have a conscious where we realize everything. We have a subconscious where there are a lot of facts there, and there is a whole sequence of life which happens. So my this thing is that mind is very, very important for us, and we also have a heart which is controlled by emotions. That's what people say, that emotions are one of the most important factor in anybody's life. And I'm keeping the pandemic, the present situation that we are facing right now, the new normal. The jobs have gone, jobs will come back, but in a different way. There is a sanction against China. All the entire world is sanctioning. So I would like you to also, like I just shared, that how mind is an important factor, but parallelly the heart and the emotion is also a very important factor to control our lives. When we get very emotional, unfiltered emotions at times creates a lot of pain, and that pain, then there are various stages of pain, depression, and takes it on a negative side, which you said that either you face it boldly or you run away.
Absolutely.
About fear. So how do you think, what are the ways that, what do you think you
See,
do to control your mind and your anxieties and your feelings?
as I mentioned to you, I always think it's the Tattvamasi concept of Adi Shankara. You don't feel that you are having a problem. The moment you attract saying that worries in your mind, saying that you are having a problem. As someone has classically mentioned that what you can do. Imagine a situation. Uh, Say you have a problem, then you do a work chart, flow chart, said can you do something about that problem. The moment you say yes, I can do something about this problem, then where is the worry? If you can address that particular problem, there is no the thing to be worried on that. Now take the other one. You have a problem. Now you say that can you do something about this problem? No, you can't do anything about that problem. Then why worry? If you cannot address this issue, then why you are holding on to that particular thing? Leave it to the law of attraction. Leave it to the superpower. They will take care of it.
But do you think it
See,
is possible?
destiny, there is a destiny, which it is possible. It is again your mind. See,
No,
the
Raja,
moment
my
you start,
question
so
is
when you have
no.
problems in your mind.
No, no, Raja, what I want to ask you is, do you think in a transactional life that we have as a father, as a mother, as a wife, as taking care of family, children, professional life, getting money to run the house, do you think it is always possible to remain positive? Do you think so? That I'm
Yeah,
asking for the masses. I'm asking generally
see,
how
one thing
people.
is, yeah, see, it is, see, one thing is, as I mentioned earlier also, it's easier said than done. So you have your emotions, without emotions, we are not human beings. We need to have emotions. But allowing the emotion to control your actions is not acceptable. The moment, if you allow yourself to be prisoners of others' opinion, then again you are doomed. You can take opinions from others, but at least you should use your own brain to vet it, saying that whether whatever they are giving, because they are not aware of your problems, they are not aware of your resources, they are not aware of your other this thing. So as a general person, they may give you an opinion, but at the end of the day, it is your decision which you have to take, looking at all the aspects of your life. And then you cannot blame anybody saying that so and so has given me an opinion, so and so has given me an advice, and now I have heeded to that particular advice, and now today I'm doomed. then it is ridiculous. It is, I don't blame that person. It is, see, someone has helped you. Don't take, either you take an opinion or you just take it for the sake of taking it and vet it, and you do, whether do a flow charting, as I mentioned to you, that how it's going to help me out. So if you put it on a metrics, what you're going to do it. So I think, this is a difficult exercise, but once you start practicing it, it becomes much easier. As I would like to mention over here about my experience with the Naxals, Shamila. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. This was a time, when I joined SR, and it was immediately after joining SR. There was a incident which happened in Chhattisgarh, where one of our GMs got arrested on cash to Naxals case. It was fabricated case by the local SP there, because he was asking for some favor which was not obliged. So he made this thing. And it's not the thing also that in Chhattisgarh, if you have to operate, you have to take care of the Naxals. But including NMDC does it. But what they do is they have a firewall in front of us, in front of them, and so all the corporates, including SR, they also had a contractor who will interact with them, and so whatever you do, there is a premium for that particular work.
So
For
there's
any
a
work,
in between.
yeah,
Connects with the Naxals.
absolutely. Because if a normal job which takes, say, 10 rupees, if you want to do it in the Naxal belt, it'll take 80 rupees. So that's the kind of a premium you have to pay, and because that premium goes to them.
Yeah.
Now this happened, and I just joined them. I joined them in the month of March, and this happened in June. And there were stalwarts in SR, who were handling that particular locations and that particular entity. They were asked to go for the ground zero. All of them refused. Senior vice president, they all refused. I joined them as a senior vice president. So I was called by Mr. Shashi Ruiya at his residence, and he told me, and for the thing, I want to tell the audience here, Shashi Ruiya Sahab, although being a Marwadi, he can speak fluent Tamil the way I speak Bengali, because he was born and brought up in, he was born and brought up in Tamil Nadu. He is a student of Loyola College.
Okay.
So he said, he told me in Tamil.
Tamilian.
Yeah, he speaks fluent Tamil. He can read, write, and speak Tamil.
Okay.
And he can speak the Tamil literature better than me. I can tell you about this. So he said, he spoke to me in Tamil, saying that he used to call me Ayyare. Ayyar means, that's a nickname. So Ayyare, have you discussed, do you know what is the problem? I said, no, I know. He said, have you discussed with your family? So I said, no, I normally don't discuss any official work with my family. It's none of their business. And he said, aren't you afraid? I said, no, why should I be afraid? I haven't done anything wrong. One. And second thing is, this is my job. If I run away from this, then, why should you employ me? There is a crisis. I'm here to mitigate that crisis for you. So I take it as a challenge. And it is an opportunity. I see an opportunity here, because my career graph will go like this, because I've handled this case. So I see this as an opportunity. So I will definitely go. And he said, but I still request you to have a word with your wife. I said, no, sir, I will not have it. I'll just say that, I'm going on an official trip to Chhattisgarh, and it'll take at least, I was stationed there for almost 6 months on a regular basis. I used to come only for the weekends here, and then I go back on the Monday morning. I used to stay in there, the thing. So it was a case, which, there was a Dr. Sen who was arrested because of that.
Yeah.
He didn't get a bail, he got finally his bail from Supreme Court. The total duration was almost 10 months. Here our GM got arrested. We got his bail within 2.5 to 3 months from the local court itself. We need not have to come to Supreme Court, even not to the district court in Bilaspur. And we managed that. And then we got that SP transferred from that place. We formed an SIT of our choice. We had that entire this thing done. Today the matter is in trial. The judgment has been reserved, and we have already got that information saying that the judgment will be in our favor because there is no evidence as such, and it was a fabricated case. So now this is one thing. For that particular work, I was given a cash prize of 2.5 lakhs.
Oh, wow.
The Man Friday. Okay. By none, I got a letter from my chairman. I got a this thing. See, more than the prize and this thing, a letter from chairman saying that he's a Man Friday who can. And when I brought that to a trial mode, and he was sent a notice. Shashi Saab was sent a notice. Ravi Saab was sent a notice. All the Ruiyas were sent a notice to appear in Kirandul, which is again from Raipur. It is 8 hours drive.
Mhm.
There is no airport. There is nothing. It's the nearest airport was Jabalpur. From there, it is 2.5 hours drive.
So, which
So
was
we
this
said
place
that,
in Chhattisgarh?
sir, none of you are going there. We will enjoy. Pardon?
No, I'm
Shamla,
saying,
I couldn't hear you.
yeah, I said which place in Chhattisgarh? I have lived in Chhattisgarh, that's why I'm asking you. Which was this
Yeah.
place?
No, that
This is
is
Bilaspur.
close to Dantewada. It is
Oh, that
around
is a typical
45
Bahumati.
minutes. Is good.
Oh my God.
Are it is full. If you go
No,
to
I
that
lived very
particular
close
road,
to
even on a
Dantewada.
daylight,
Hmm. That,
no, that in Dantewada, that area, all the Congress leaders were killed. It's 45 kilometers down inside, and even on a daylight, you cannot see the sun because it's a and it's a great experience to go there. I still love that. It's a scenic beauty, absolute scenic beauty. I love that place. So many people,
yeah.
and one of the guys had the local guys had gifted a Ganesha to me, carved out of a single wood. So I really cherish those moments of mine.
No, that's lovely. I think that's
So it is
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's how you take it. When this I think I answered your this thing, how to take it's again, it's in your mind what you want to do, whether you want to see. Once you think that, there are so many types of fear. One is the fear of inadequacy, whether you're skilled enough to take a particular challenge. One is a fear of, say, rejection, whether whatever I'll do, whether it will be accepted or not, because you're always living on others' opinion. And as long as you do this, you can never ever be successful in your life.
So I want to give you my example where in my life there has been one or two, in my own journey, I have felt this fear gripping me completely. And uh, do you want to hear it?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah. So you said that you said twice it had, when you lost your father and mother, that was a time when you felt fearful. So I remember, and this I could not overcome for a very long time. My father was admitted to Apollo. In fact, that time, those days, I used to live in Delhi. So Shuendu, my brother, he informed us that my father met with a stroke, and we rushed from wherever we were living to his house, and then we took him to one hospital, Holy Family. He was not, he didn't get a place there. Then we took him to another hospital. From there, we rushed because he was not moving, and we took him to. I was in that state of fear all this while. But when we took him to another hospital, Apollo admitted him in ICU and immediately put him on a ventilator. So, Raja, I mean, this was the night, I think this was a day, third night. He was there for 2 days. Third night, a huge fear had gripped me because I had gone to see him inside, and I saw tears trickling from his eyes. And with because he was on the ventilator those days. I don't know whether the ventilators have changed now, but he was completely tied up. He could not move. and I saw tears, and I looked into his eyes, and he just said with his eyes, that, "Get me off this ventilator." So I rushed to the doctor and told the doctor. The doctor did not listen. That fear I will never forget, because I felt something will happen, maybe, because I felt something uh, intuitively, and I felt that night we were not. I was sitting tight, and we were uh, in the waiting lounge. I was there with my husband, uh, and around 2:40, I think they called us that with Mr. Ghoshal, whoever. So we rushed. He was gone, but I can't forget that fear that I had, that maybe, he's going away, he'll leave us, and which is what happened. So that is one instance I'll never ever forget, and I could not overcome that for long years in my life.
Shamila, what I can do is, for this, you're always an emotional person. I know very well. You whenever I talk about mother, you still cry. Thinking of your mother. See, one thing is, I would strongly recommend you buy. I'll present you this book. It's called Bhaja Govindam by Adi Shankara with meaning. Okay, you first understand the meaning before reading the slokas. Then you will understand what is the purpose of us coming into this world, and what are the duties that we need to perform. And we have come alone, we have to go alone. Nobody is going to join us. Okay. The moment you realize this, that you are an individual, and you will be an individual while going and while coming, half of your problem gets over automatically. That is, one this thing I mentioned to you, that I felt bad when I lost my parents, but that remained with me for 3 months. Then I realized that if uh, everyone has to stay, if I will be selfish on my part if I ask my mom to stay. She died at the ripe age of 87, 88. Okay. And it will be, what kind of a pain she would have been undergoing. And if I ask for my own selfishness, saying that she should live for me, that is absolutely not right. One. And second thing is, if you always look at yourself that, I am beyond everything, all the problems are below me, I am above the problem. At this particular insight, the moment you bring in yourself, you will never ever taste failures in your life. Yeah, even if it is a failure, it will not touch your heart. You will say that that's a learning experience for me. I will not repeat that mistake once again. I'll do my thing in a different way, and I'll be successful. But you will never take it into your heart. No, it happens. See, one thing is, eh, not always Sachin Tendulkar can score centuries. He has scored so many zeros in his life, but that doesn't mean that he'll be a normal batsman. He's a world class batsman, no doubt about that. So this is you. The moment you think of yourself, there are umpty number of examples, Shamla, available on the nets. Available.
No, but
I'll
Raja, I have a counter logic here. So when we talk of Meera, Krishna, I mean, let's talk of Krishna Bhakti Marg. And when we
Hmm.
talk of Meera there, so Meera is nothing but emotions, and through her emotions, it's only emotions which actually, she gets across to her
See,
uh,
her
by
emotion.
her
I won't
own.
say that she was not. I won't say she was emotional. I said that she was totally focused on Lord Krishna, and her total emotion, you can say, was Bhakti Marg emotion.
Yeah, so
She
I'm
was
saying
not. See
I
what
am to the
you are
dedication.
attaching your emotions with worries. You are attaching
No,
your
I'm
emotions with
not.
problems.
I am saying I am not attaching my emotions with my journey. Now there are no, see, worries will be there. Worries about life will
Precisely,
be there, but we will
precisely,
deal with it. This is my
precisely.
learning.
Yeah, yeah.
My learning. But my learning, as you also said, is that I am actually emotional at the core of my heart, very, very emotional, but it is not unfiltered emotions anymore. Now this emotion that I have within myself is very channeled. It is very channelized, and it is filtered. It has gone through various drawbacks, hardships, fallen 100 times, got up again, because I have to do it. So therefore now it is
Precisely.
a very controlled emotion. But what I was trying to tell you is that it's not, see, the love. I have seen how concerned you have been for your son, Adi, when he was, while he got his job, while he settled down in Pune. And I know that father. I have seen you in that
But for
journey.
this, I would like to mention here, I am indebted to Shuvendu for this. He was the one who analyzed him completely through that psychometric test. I was really worried at that time. I would, if I say that, I wasn't worried, and I'll be lying to you. Shuvendu was one person, who did the psychometric test on Aditya, and he told what he will become. And he said that don't worry about that. He will do much better than what you did in your life.
Huh.
So that itself was a great, medicine for me. And
Yeah.
definitely, then when he first finished his graduation on design, the first person who I called was Shuvendu. I said, Shuvendu, your words came true. He said he's a creative person. Don't force him on academics. He will do only creative works. This is what Shuvendu said.
So this is precisely what I'm saying, that once you filter your emotions and you know that okay, you are emotional about Akhila, you are emotional about Adi, and that's your family, that's your love. But then it is controlled. It is not unfiltered, but it is unconditional. It is there. So my emotions are now, to a lot of, I mean, to a large extent, it is very unconditional, whether it is my God or it is people I love in my life. Not that, we don't get into transactional things. Anyway, that let's put that besides the point. Uh, my last question, we are almost reaching our this thing. I won't take much longer. Of course, we'll take some questions if we have some questions. But my last this thing is that, what does spirituality mean for you? How does it define for you?
See, I don't attach spirituality to religion to be on any other thing. For me, all religions are same. Okay, and to me, spirituality is helping the poor, helping others, helping the needy, and doing something worthwhile, which is which can bring happiness to others' face. If you can bring happiness to at least one person on this world, you have done something good. So this is what spirituality is for me, and I would like to follow this till my I live. But this is what I wanted to do. I don't attach spirituality with any religions, to be very frank, and this is what my father taught me, and this is what I want to follow also.
Good, great. But music is doing a lot of good to you these days, I heard.
Yeah, that's a
Akhila has
passion.
been sharing all the songs that you are recording on Star Maker.
That was a passion, which was this thing. As so I can't, as I mentioned to you, it's a great stress buster on this demanding crisis, a pandemic time. It's a great stress buster, I'll tell you. And I enjoy myself. I enjoy my meditation. I enjoy reading books. I read a lot of. When I was young, I used to read a lot of fictional. Now I am reading lot of spiritual. Not, I won't say spiritual, but I would say intellectual books. Which is I'm reading. I was reading Adi Shankara.
So
I was
what
really
is his
inspired.
philosophy? What is Adi
Adi
Shankaracharya's
Shankara's
philosophy?
philosophy, as I mentioned, it was Tatmamasi. I am Aham Brahmasi. I am above everything. I am the Brahma. I am everything. If you want to search God, you search within yourself. You need not have to go outside. You need not have to go to temple. You need not have to go to anywhere else. It is everything is within you. You are your own enemy. You are your friend. You are your own, if you realize that, the moment you realize that you can do this. I would like to share a small this thing. You might be knowing Swami Vivekananda. I'm a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
fan of him.
I've read so much
i've
about
i
him.
i have read so many writings of his. So when his first interaction with the Ramakrishna Paramahansa happened, Vivekananda was qualified. He went to schools, he went to colleges and all those stuff. Ramakrishna Paramahansa was, he never went to school. He was divine on his own. You agree to that? So when Vivekananda was a Nastik initially, when he said, no, there is no goddess, Kali Kota, it will not talk to you and all those stuff. I don't believe in all this nonsense. I am a poor person. I want wealth. I want money. I want this thing. Will your Kali bless me on this? So Ramakrishna said, you need to ask Kali. what you want. Okay, then Ramakrishna used to talk to Ma Kali
Ma
on a
Kali,
daily
yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
So he said, Ma Kali is here inside. You go and ask her what you want. First time he goes, he says, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. He never asked anything about what he wants for his family. He couldn't ask. Then Ramakrishna Paramahansa was smiling, sitting outside, saying that, see, this fellow is not able to ask what he wants. He is asking that everyone, all the welfare for the global, this thing. Then second time he goes again, he asks for the same thing, that I for the welfare of the universe. So this happened, and that brought him to spirituality. That was the turning point in Vivekananda's life. Then Vivekananda was again having a problem. At that time, Ramakrishna Paramahansa explains it to him. This was shown in that movie also, it very beautifully picturized. There is a fruit juice in a glass, okay, and there is a fly which revolves around the on the corner of the glass. It can't get inside. Ramakrishna Paramahansa says to Vivekananda that your position is similar to that fly. You want to taste that juice, but you don't want to get inside. You want to taste it from outside, which will never happen in your life. So if you want to take that, then you get the fear out, you jump into the juice. Then only you can have that juice, and you can swim back and come up. So this was the turning point in Vivekananda's this thing, and this was recently shared by in one of the videos which I received in WhatsApp. I forgot that lady. She's a follower of Vivekananda's this thing very recently. I think I shared it with you also. Vivekananda went to US, and he was saying that my mind is calm. I am above all the problems. He said he exactly briefed what Shankaracharya did, Tattvamasi, that concept of Tattvamasi. He said my mind is above all the problems. I'm absolutely I no one I cannot take a negative or a positive. I'm absolutely okay with everything. I'm on complete emptiness. So what happened is the hippies there in the US, they made fun of him, and they called him to their locality just to test his this thing. So he was asked to address, and he was doing an address, and what they were doing is they were firing from either side of it. It was going, all the bullets were going from his just away from his ears, but he was continuing on his lecture. And these guys were absolutely flabbergasted, saying that how can someone will be focused on what he is doing. Then after that, they came, once the lecture got over, they all prostrated in front of Vivekananda and said that what you said is absolutely, we saw it today, because we were firing left, right, and center just to threaten you, but you were absolutely, you didn't move an inch. You were with your job. So this is what I'm totally focused. I'm above everything.
So Raja, I may add something here about Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahansa Dev. So Dakshineshwar is where he used to perform puja, and that is where he used to speak to Kalima every day. Vivekananda those days did not believe in God and said that I am seeking God. If anybody can prove that there is something called God to me, I will follow that person. So he goes to various, I'm just adding to what you said, but my experience, my hearing is something else. So he goes to a lot of saints and tantrics, and he is just moving from one place to another, and then he hears that there is one Pagla Pujari.
Kappa
Pujari in Dakshineshwar. Why don't you go there? He may have some answers for you. So he goes there, and the first time the satsang was happening, the Paramahansa Dev was sitting on his Taktabush ball.
Yeah.
They call Taktabush in Bengali, pot, the wooden pot, and he hears him out, and then he comes and joins everybody, and he's sitting at the back. So after a while, Ramakrishna says, Naren, tu yatodin pore, I'm saying it in Bengali because I'm তুই এতদিন পরে আমার সঙ্গে মানে কতদিন লাগালি আমার কাছে আসতে এদিকে আয়, come here. So he goes and he says, look, I'm not impressed with all your talks, so can you show me God? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now.
Yeah, so he just says, let's cut it short, can you show me God?
Hmm.
If people talk about you, they say you're talking to Kali every day. So he's asked, his name was Narendra.
Yeah, Naren.
Vivekananda's name was not. He says, Naren, would you be able to withstand what I show you? Will you be able to see God?
Yeah,
So he said, you try and see whether you can show me. Then you see whether I can see it, whether I have the strength. He takes him inside the temple
yeah. He
where
couldn't
the
see.
deity is, Murti is, and he says, now I'm getting you. This happened after 2, 3 visitations,
Yeah,
Then he puts his fingers, the three
yeah.
fingers
That.
like this
Yeah, that's
on his
right.
forehead and says, now he chants some mantra. And Noren's experience in his book is that he saw
Flash of
ocean of
light.
light,
Lights. Yeah,
ocean of
absolutely.
light, and he
Absolutely.
fainted.
Fainted.
So,
You are right.
and after he fainted, when he regained his consciousness, he fell on his feet. He said, "Amake ক্ষমা করে দিন, আমার অনেক বড় ভুল হয়েছে যে I was doubting you." So
So he
Narendra's
found, see, one of the things, as I mentioned to you, Vivekananda found
Advaita.
spirituality on helping others.
Yes. He still doesn't believe in deity worship.
Yeah,
He says,
he never believed. In fact, Rajaram Mohan Rai is one of the most qualified Vedic
yeah,
guys, of those days. But he was known as the modern person of India.
yeah.
But he also never worshipped deity, this thing.
So anyway, I think we had a very, very meaningful conversation, Raja.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm so used
See,
to talking to you in Bengali that every time we speak with each other, we speak in Bengali. But this was really excellent, I think.
I,
And the song was. Ashish wants to say something.
yeah, Ashish.
Extraordinary. Raja,
Yeah,
I
thanks.
must congratulate Sharmila and you. You created such an extraordinary gathering. I was riveted. I
No,
have
thanks, Ashish.
Thank you.
Thanks for sparing your time.
amazing. It is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, and I look forward to hearing from you more often. And thank
Sure,
Thank you,
sure.
Ashish. Thank
I
you so
thank you,
much.
Sharmila, for providing me this opportunity.
you.
No, you're most welcome and stay blessed. Don't fear anything. Let's take the pandemic very positively
Yeah,
and all
absolutely.
the best. I think,
We
and
will
I would
we
like to
will win
thank,
together. We will win together.
yes, absolutely. And I would like to thank everybody else who's joined us
Yeah.
on Zoom and on Facebook. I think I'm really, really thankful to all of you watching us.
Yeah,
And
I would like to thank one person here, who is there in this thing, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. So after, he has also played a pivotal role in my career and my in guiding me, and he is also a karma yogi. There he is. So
Namaskar.
thank
Namaskar,
you.
Uncle.
So he's a karma yogi. He believes in karma. He is one person who inspires me everything. He's 79 years old, but he still works.
Your
Uh,
daughter is also very, very inspired. She also knows how to inspire people. Akila is really good, Uncle. Thank you so much. It's nice knowing this family. So, thank you, Raja, once again.
yeah, and
And
Lakshman is not here, so Lakshman. So
yeah, but I thought he
Lakshman,
would join us.
yeah, he got some problem. He said he will join us, but he got into a problem. So he wished me, and he is guiding me because he is also very good in meditations and
Show
all those
him the
stuff.
recording.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot and good night. And
Thanks,
namaskar
thanks, Shamila.
from
Thanks
IW.
everyone for joining, and I thank everyone. Yeah.
Raja, it was nice connecting with you and Sharmila after a
Hi,
long
hi,
time.
hi, hi, Kaushik.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, we are on the
Back,
Moral Grove.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, the GSM to trial, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
2007, 2008.
Yeah, that's right.
The visit.
That's right. That's right.
Babu's visit in Shalbani.
Absolutely. There also
And
we
I'm
got
sitting in
a
Shalbani
there,
now.
yeah. No, there also we got a landmine blasted.
Yeah, my
Raja,
God, yes,
that's
yes.
another story.
Yeah,
That's another story you can.
yeah.
In
And I
West
still
Bengal,
remember.
that's right.
I still remember Sajjan Jindal asked me, what do you say in Bengali? Jako rake saiya maar sake na koi. I
But that was
rake
too
hori
close.
mare ke.
Rake hori marike.
Rakhe hori marke.
Marike. Lovely.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's been
nice.
a long time.
connecting
Yeah,
with all of you. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
sure, Kaushik.
Yeah.
Great seeing you after years,
Yeah,
actually.
same here, same here. Even I'm seeing Sharmila after a long time, long
Yeah,
time.
It's been years. Yeah, thank you. Kala is saying, Raja, she's saying to you that Raja, I have seen your spiritual side. I mean,
Right.
yeah. Oh, thanks.
so thank you everyone once again. It was so nice
Thanks,
to
Shamila.
connect with
Once
him.
again, it was a
Thank
great
you.
evening, actually.
And thank Akhila for, doing
Sure, I will.
all your other work. I mean, promoting and everything.
Yeah. She's a source of inspiration for me also.
Yeah.
A
So
pillar of support.
Adi is saying that great session. Your
Yeah.
son, Raja.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, bye, good night.
Thank. Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good
Good
night.
night.